Hello everyone, welcome back to LearnCity. In our section today would continue from where we stopped in our last class. While we stopped in our last class, we were talking about the reason why classroom management is needed in middle school. Now we're moving to the next, which is high school. As the level of the class increases, the classroom management skills required of a teacher increases. There are some challenges that teachers need to handle in high school classes. Now, one of the challenges is the academic excellence. In high school, students are already planning for their future career, make the subject choices that will lead them up their chosen path, and so they expect that the teachers should provide them with the highest level of education. Teachers, in turn, need to teach at the highest levels and also assist the students in making their choices rather. Now, I remember when I was in SS2, starting from SS1, and they asked me, "Oh, Ike, what do you want to be in the future?" I'm like, "I want to be a barrister, I want to be a lawyer." Oh, that moved. SS2 and always SS1. Fast forward to SS2, and then we had this particular person come in to give a talk on career. And I was like, ladies that go into law, they don't have time for their family, they are this, they are that, there's a particular club, they are going to be working from morning till night. And I had this notion that, okay, yes, I wanted to be a career person, but at the same time also have time for my family. I'm like, so what will I now do if I'm not going to do law? I cannot be a science student. I don't like blood. I don't like chemistry. I don't like math. So there's nothing in science that I'm interested in. It is just this art. I can't go to commercial class, accounting. I still have to do mathematics and calculation. I don't want to do this thing. It is just art. And I begin to think, okay, they say women cannot do law because they will literally not have time for their family. Ikeoluwa, what else do you want to do? What do you want to do with your future? You're in SS2. And, well, thank God for my maths teacher who saw in me that I could be a talkative and decided to make me give a speech on the assembly ground on this particular day. And the ovation that came with the speech was just everything I needed. The morale was everything I needed. And the press club president at that time came to my class and was like, what club are you in? And I'm like, no, I'm not in any club, sir. Why not join the press club? Okay, every Wednesday we cast news on the assembly ground and this. I'm like, sir, I'm not interested in joining a club. This was because I did not have a choice, was why I had to give this speech on the assembly ground. It's like, you have the potential, you can talk, you have this, you have the charisma. You know when you want someone to do something and then you're giving the person some serious motivations. And I'm like, okay, not bad. And I decided to venture into this. That was when I decided that I was going to study communication and language arts, media school, so I could become a full-time broadcaster. So they expect that the teachers should provide them with the highest level of education, and also that the teachers in turn need to teach at the highest level and also assist the students in making their choices. Now, another challenge that teachers faces in high school is disobedience. Now, entering their teen years, students feel a newfound independence that leads to disobedience in class. Like when a teacher say, "Don't do this," that is what you want to do. I remember feeling for myself that when the teacher, especially when I don't do my maths assignments basically, and teacher is like, those that do not do their maths assignments, step out. That is when I said that, step out. I'll quickly move to the back of the class, do my assignment. I'll quickly move to the back of the class and do my assignments. Now, teachers need to overcome disobedience from students without turning it into confrontation. Now, there's a way you approach a student who is being disobedient. You don't have to confront the student, make it look like the student is being bad. Now, students will want to do worse, like, okay, I'm just being disobedient. Don't worry, I'll show you more than I can do. Like, I'll show you more. I'll do more than disobedience this time around. So teachers, as a teacher, you need to overcome disobedience from students without turning it into confrontation. Now, one of the behavioral problem, what I mean by behavioral problem, I mean behavioral style issues in students. And number one is lack of concentration. Some students find it difficult to concentrate when the teacher is teaching, and also in related activities going on in the class. I mean, if you want to dig deeper into the behavior of these restless students, there are some reasons why these students are having lack of concentration. And one of the reasons is lack of sleep. Now, children need 2 to 4 hours of more sleep than an adult to achieve same level of concentration. Now, if an adult is going to sleep for 6 hours to achieve a certain level of concentration, a child should sleep for 8 hours or 10 hours so that they can achieve the same level of concentration. On an average, a school-going child should sleep anywhere between 9 and 11 hours every day, including nighttime sleep and daytime nap. Now, another reason why that causes lack of concentration in students is the stressful environment at home. This could be because of any of the parents not being there, or arguments between parents or other elder family members. Now, if it is only the mother that is always at home, imagine it being the only female child. You know that it is you and your mom that have to do things. And there are times where, especially if you're not the first child, like work, house chores, when you get back from school, when you're supposed to rest, you have to face house chores, you have to cook, you have to help your younger ones. There are a lot of activities that you have to do, and it becomes stressful for you. Now, or when there's arguments between your parents or an elder family, it causes a stressful environment in the home. The emotional stress makes a child listless, and hence she's not able to concentrate in class. Now, if you're going through a lot, if your environment is stressful, it's like the only time you have peace is when you step into school. And that is when you now lack concentration, because you'll be able to listen to what your teacher is saying. You won't be able to be active in the class activities. You just want to rest, because you know that by the time you get home, it is another stress, another work, and school is the only place where you have to relax. So it is another reason why there's lack of concentration amongst students. So another reason that leads to lack of concentration amongst students is unhealthy food habits. Eating lots of junk food. I mean, I have friends that say when it's time for them to read, they need to have a lot of junks beside them, even though they will sleep off and they'll be able to read. But on the other hand, they don't know that they need nutrients in their body to make them attentive. It is not the junks. The junk is just going to fill up your body with unnecessary calories, and then you find it difficult to concentrate in class. When you take food that gives your body nutrients, you notice that your body, mind, and soul are connected, like you are paying straight concentration in class. Another reason that leads to lack of concentration among students is medical condition. Now, lack of concentration in students could be due to these medical conditions like, hormonal imbalance, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that is ADHD. Now, if you're not able to lay your hands on the reasons behind a child's behavioral issues, the teacher should be able to advise the parents to consult a child specialist. Now, the people who go to school to learn this, be able to understand a child, like why a child is having lack of concentration, why the child has lack of concentration. Now, by the time they go through these reasons, the medical condition, the unhealthy food habits, the lack of sleep, and it is not any of this, then you refer the child, advise the parent to take the child to consult a child specialist that will be able to know the reason why the child is not concentrating in class. Now, another common behavior that leads to classroom management, another common behavioral problem that leads to classroom management is the disruptive behavior. Remember that the first one we talked about was the lack of concentration, and the reasons why we have lack of concentration among students, the medical reason, the lack of sleep, unhealthy food habits. Now, another common behavioral problem is the disruptive behavior. Any action carried out with the sole purpose of challenging the authority of the teacher is called a disruptive behavior. Now, let me take that again. By any action carried out with the sole purpose of challenging the authority of the teacher It's called the disruptive behavior. Now, what do we mean by this disruptive behavior? Examples of this disruptive behavior, or forms rather of this disruptive behavior, is talking during teaching. Now you have a teacher in your front passing out knowledge, trying to impact knowledge on you, and you're having side talks. You're talking with your seatmate. You're saying, you're not listening to what the teacher is saying. It is a disruptive behavior. Another form is making loud noise. I remember when I was doing my teaching practice, my first teaching practice, and I had to teach literature, SS2. And because I had a very small stature then, and the students that were in the class, a public school for that matter, students that were in the class at that time were older than me, like older with the big body stature. Now, controlling those set of students was difficult because they had their gang at the back, so it wasn't easy to say, keep quiet, and then by the time they see me on the road in the evening, when they're out of their uniform and they decide to stop me on the road, I'll be like, no. So those set of students they had disruptive behavior. I mean, they talk while I'm teaching, they make loud noise, they argue without any reason, or just decide to do something to disrupt the class, like scatter, or decide to do anything to disrupt the class. I mean, talking, loud noise, argue without reason, passing notes to friends, verbal abuse, entering class after teaching has started. Like, they'll stay outside and they'll wait till the teacher enter inside the class. And then the moment the teacher enters the class, when the teacher is teaching, decide to enter inside the class. Now you're going to disrupt the teacher because the teacher is trying to impact knowledge basically on the students. So you walking in at that moment, you're going to disrupt the class. Another is asking permission for bathroom breaks every time, like every minute. Excuse me, ma, I want to go and use myself. Excuse me, ma, I want to go and use myself. At the end of the day, now what the teacher is supposed to deliver in a class, the teacher will end up delivering in 2 classes because of the disruptive behavior of the students. Now the third common behavioral problem that are common in students is class bullies. Now, who is a bully? A bully is a person who uses strength to influence or harm or intimidate others who are weaker. Every class has its own bullies, and you must definitely have come across them in your class. They might not bully you, but they might bully someone who is weaker. And some of the reasons why students take to bully is, one is that they want to feel a sense of power over classmates. Like, they want to feel, yes, I'm the boss. They're kind of feel that when a particular person is coming, they'll be like, this person is coming, and then everybody decides to compose. In fact, they fear them more than the teachers. Like, everybody decides to compose his or herself. Another reason is to enjoy the attention they get after the incident. Like, when a bully beats up a student or bullies a student or intimidates a student, they get this attention like, what happened? By the time the victim starts to explain, what happened to you? And the victim is saying, this is what happened, and the victim is saying, this person came over and person bullied me. You know, the attention they get, like, they enjoy that. Everybody's looking at me, everybody's talking about me. And also for fun. People bully for fun. Why? They just enjoy it. They just have pleasure in doing it. Another reason is to show that they are growing up. They feel, okay, I want to show my power. I want to show that, yes, I'm growing. I'm not stagnant. I'm not in a place. And they don't like their victim. That is it. Why? The only reason why you bully someone is because you don't like them. Like, I don't like you, so I want to bully you. I can't do anything to you, so the thing that I want to do is just to bully you. That's the reasons why most people bully, because they don't like the victim. And also to enhance their social status within the peer group. To enhance the social status. within the peer group. Now, this will bring us to the end of today's class. We're able to look at common behavioral problems in students. We talked about the lack of concentration, we talked about the disruptive behavior, and we also talked about class bullies. Under the lack of concentration, we looked at reasons why students have lack of concentration. We talked about the medical part, the unhealthy food habits, and also lack of sleep. For the disruptive behavior, we talk about those that make noise in class, they take permissions for bathroom breaks every single minute. They have side talks. I mean, talking in class when the teacher is talking, making loud noises, like they don't care. Those are forms of disruptive behavior. And also we looked at class bullies and saw reasons why students are being bullies. Like, for example, one reasons why students are bullies, like to show that they are growing up, they don't like their victim, for fun, and to enjoy the attention that they get after the incident. So thank you so much for staying in this class. In our next class, we'll look at the non-behavioral factors. Yes, we've looked at the behavioral factors. So at the next class, we're going to look at the non-behavioral factors. Thank you.